Tonight on Wareham Viking News at 5, news about the new rezoning vote as protesters continues to throughout the town. The youngest students are back to school full-time. How is it going? They even start their new summer season with a large donation to beneficial local programs. Find out everything about this and more coming up at 5 o'clock.
Live from the WCTV studios in Wareham, this is Wareham Viking News.
Wareham Viking News at 5 starts right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to Wareham Viking News. Thank you for being with us today on our live news show. I'm your host, Emma Arcaro, and remember to join us Wednesdays at 5 p.m., Thursdays at 9 a.m., or on YouTube later tonight for our news broadcasts. Thank you for devoting your time to us this evening, and with that, let's get right into this week's news. The Wareham Village Association, Wareham Public Schools, and the Wareham Transportation Department recently chipped in to give back to those in need in our community, reminding us that giving is in season all year long. They collaborated with Last Saturday to collect items to donate to Turning Point, an organization that focuses on helping the less fortunate and the homeless in our community. The Stuff-A-Bus system, usually held mainly in December to collect gifts for less fortunate children during the holidays, was utilized to collect donations of goods, cash, and food. The community quickly sprung to action to donate and help as much as possible during the start of the spring season. It was so successful that the group plans to make Spring Into Action initiative an annual event. According to the Tracy McGraw of the Village Association, anyone who missed out during this event can bring any donations to Blades Hair Salon at 245 High Street, and she will bring the items to organizations that can use them. She can be contacted at 508-295-5252. Well, I'm sure many of you have seen the signs and protesters around Wareham. This is in regards to the zoning issue that has recently been hotly debated locally, ever since the Notos Group proposed a plan for a hospitality, recreation, and entertainment district to be voted on the April 10th special town meeting. Those against this plan, which includes adding a casino and a racetrack, have been actively protesting, putting up signs in front of their homes, and developing an online petition such as surpassed 1,000 signatures. Many standouts have been planned at areas all around Wareham, the participants of which usually include representatives of the Wareham Land Trust, Trout Unlimited, and the Community Land and Water Coalition, who say that they are there manually to protect the environment. The land is currently only zoned for single-family homes on several acre plots. Well, we have an update on the proposed Main Street project that was discussed on one of 4 previous shows last month. The Wareham Development Authority has unanimously voted to endorse the Main Street project, proposed by Wareham local Danny Warren, which includes a building, a marina, a restaurant, and an events menu. These plans are for the old green lumber street on Main Street proposed by Warren, who's decided to try and give back to the town after making money to invest from his successful, environmentally friendly epoxy business. He has bold plans for the lot, which are subject to many problems that have made it difficult for Warren to get the project off the ground. He explains that among them are parking availability and a 50-foot setback requirement in the wetland bylaws. Problems also include the high level of suspected drug activity in that area, as well as water, sewage, and drainage. Nothing is for certain yet, but Warren has expressed his enthusiasm that all of these hurdles could be overcome. It's time for us to take our first short break, but you don't want to miss what we have to say next, like information on the new Gateway Babe Ruth baseball season, and the return back to school for the youngest students of our community. This and more after the break.
Welcome to the morning show.
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 Welcome to the new morning show.
a Wareham Viking weekend.
Runner there, Michael Bush, the pitch home. Fastball swung on and missed, and the Gatemen win their 8th title and won for the first time since 2012. The Wareham Gatemen are kings of the Cape Cod Baseball League. A strikeout for Zach Hart, and the Gatemen win it.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Emma R. Carroll, and thank you for joining us tonight. We have a lot more to share with you, so I hope you're comfortable. Let's continue. Registration once again has opened for players between the ages of 12 and 16 interested in Gateway Babe Ruth baseball. Registration was open for players until March 28th, making the exciting beginning to a new baseball season for Wareham's youth. This league is open to players from Middleborough, Dartmouth, Wareham, Onset, Marion, Rochester, and Mattapoisett, placing the players on more than 20 teams. The season will begin with scrimmages, practices, and clinics throughout April and May. The pitcher-catcher clinics being open on Saturdays in April in 2 cohorts, 9 to 12-year-olds and 13 to 15-year-olds. Regular season games will run from mid-June to late July. The league will also be putting an all-star team together comprised of 13 to 15-year-olds for the Babe Ruth National Tournament. The Board of Selectmen recently finalized a warrant for the special town meeting within the spring town meeting on Monday, April 26th. The meeting will contain several financial articles, including the onset parking program, budget transfers, the town's capital plan, and PEG access rescripts. It will also include an article crucial to making sure Wareham's resident will be able to purchase flood insurance, updating the FEMA maps to delineate flood zones. Articles regarding the purchasing of generators for the water pollution control facility and another financial article to pay off for an invoice for the department using retained earnings will also be included. An article regarding the amount of marijuana delivery licenses will be discussed as well, as a request for special legislation concerning 5 new liquor pouring licenses created for the Wareham Village District. The meeting will also include 2 controversial articles related to wetland bylaws, the final decisions of which are currently up to the voters. Although the meeting is scheduled for the 26th, it will likely be postponed to a Saturday to allow it to be outdoors and more safe for people to attend. The school committee has recently been considering putting a plan to buy back teachers and other staff's allotted personal days for the year. This is to decrease the new need for substitute teachers, of which are few and far between, as well as lower the amount of different personnel working in the building to decrease the risk of spreading COVID-19 throughout the schools. Most staff members have 3 or 4 personal days to use throughout the year, although many have only used 1 or not used any rearing closer to the end of the year. In the wake of many people starting to lose their personal days as a result of use them or lose them policy, Superintendent Shaverhood proposed that the school committee offer to buy back the staff's personal days at a March 25th meeting. They are currently considering 3 plans which will be voted on at the next meeting and would allow staff to sell all 4 of their personal days in exchange for a money or voucher for supplies. For pre-K through 4th grade students, the return of back to school has been sooner rather than later. Returning hybrid students to fully in-person 5 days a week starting April 5th, the superintendent has expressed that they have spent time and effort and participation for this return. This is switching from the current system that has been in place since March 8th, where hybrid students have been broken into 2 cohorts, each going 2 school days out of the week that are slightly shorter than normal school days. Wednesday has been a remote learning day for all students, and this is to switch to fully in-person schooling. That means that the cohorts will be combined, increasing the amount of students within the school at any given time. Although there will be more students, the superintendent has expressed that social distancing will be strictly enforced, with a distance of 3 feet apart in classrooms and 6 feet in the hallways and lunchrooms. Hybrid 5th graders, as well as the other older students in Wareham Public Schools, will be returning full-time on April 26th. It's time for another break already? Well, okay, but don't go anywhere. Up next, we have information about a local donation made by the Wareham Gatemen and our weekly weather report. All this and more when we get back.
Runner there, Michael Bush, the pitch home. Fastball swung on and missed, and the Gatemen win their 8th title and won for the first time since 2012. The Wareham Gatemen are kings of the Cape Cod Baseball League. A strikeout for Zach Hart, and the Gatemen win it.
Congratulations, graduates!
People in Massachusetts are asking what they can do to help stop the spread of the virus. Our response? Answer the call.
Hello? Thanks for calling. I've been worried.
Thanks. Now I know what to do.
Through what's called contact tracing, the MA COVID team will be reaching out to everyone who's tested positive for coronavirus or who has been exposed. Look out for area codes 833 or 857 and answer the call to keep your community safe. Visit mass.gov/MA tracing team.
Hey, do you have Viking pride?
Of course I have Viking pride.
Viking pride?
You already know I have that.
Of course I do. Viking!
Gotta believe.
Go
Wareham! Go Vikings, bro. Viking pride.
Who doesn't have Viking pride? It's all good.
Yes.
Vikings! Go Vikings! Stand up. Nobody better than a Viking.
Viking pride! Go Vikings!
Go Vikings. Viking pride. You have it?
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Wareham Viking News at 5. I'm your host, Emma Arcaro, and thank you for sticking with us this evening as we bring all of you the latest local news. We have more to share, so let's dive right in. The Wareham Gatemen are giving back this season with a donation to the Gleason Family YMCA's Plates Community Market program. Along with John Wild Trust, the Gatemen donated $10,000 to the program on March 26th in wake of their summer baseball season, which will begin on with the first game of June on June 13th. The Community Market program distributes boxes of fruit, vegetables, dairy, and non-perishable foods to those in need. And donations like these are used to help keep the program ongoing and the offerings expanding. The market will be held next at the YMCA on April 9th, 33 Charge Pond Road. It is held every other Friday from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. It's first come, first serve, although supplies usually go fast. The only question is the recipient's zip code as well as the number of people in their household. No photo identification or registration is required. Well, folks, it's looking like it's that time again. Time for a weekly weather report with Isabella. Belle, please tell us the weather's going to be nice this week.
Thank you, Emma. It's Isabella, and it's your Viking weather report. Today will be sunny with highs of 54 and lows of 43. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy, highs of 55 and lows of 38. Friday will be partly cloudy, highs of 59 and lows of 41. And now for your Viking trivia. What was the first Disney movie that got a Best Picture nomination? Is it A, Beauty and the Beast, B, The Little Mermaid, or C, Snow White?
Cinderella! Come on!
And the answer is A, Beauty and the Beast. And now back to you, Emma.
Thank you very much, Isabella. And all right, thank you for the fabulous weather report, Bella. And now it is time for this week's Word of the Week. This week's Word of the Week is autism. Last week, Friday, April 2nd, was Autism Awareness Day, and April is National Autism Awareness Month. And the purpose is to promote understanding and awareness towards people with autism or are on the spectrum. In 1970, the Autism Society launched an ongoing nationwide effort to promote autism awareness and assure that all affected by autism are able to achieve the highest quality of life possible. In 1972, the Autism Society launched the first annual National Autistic Children's Week, which evolved into Autism Acceptance Month, AAM. The Autism Society has a variety of resources designed to inform and encourage communities to celebrate differences and become more inclusive of individuals with autism. The campaign will overlap with World Autism Awareness Day on April 2nd and continue throughout the month. It is now time for us to take another short break, but you won't want to miss what we have coming next. When we come back, well, Laura doesn't have any sports this week, but we have some stuff to tell you about what's happening in our town this week. All this and more coming up after the break.
Where am I? You're in Wareham. Rivers, forests, fish and flowers, the natural world has no respect for the artificial boundaries that man creates. Instead, they find their own way, the way of life. Native peoples understood that and sought to fit themselves to nature, not bind nature to their needs. Miraculously, despite 400 years of boundary making, bog building, and furnace feeding, in this part of the world, there are still rivers that run free, forests that stretch for miles, and beneath it all, protected by the remaining trees and plants and soil and sand, an abundance of pure water. For now, that is. Where am I? Still in Wareham.
The activities that threaten seep-run brook trout also threaten the health and well-being of human populations. while my focus is preserving this amazing species and its coastal watersheds, in doing so, I know I am also helping to protect the people who live nearby. We call it Red Brook, you call it Wareham.
Where am I? Still in Wareham.
10,000 years ago, retreating glaciers carved into this landscape and left a deep layer of sand, creating the foundation for what is now a globally rare ecoregion that includes all of Wareham. These deep aquifers of pure water, these unique species of trees and turtles, of fish and flower, the mysterious ponds and rock-strewn beaches were all a gift of the glaciers. A gift that, once squandered, can't be replaced. We call it the Atlantic Coastal Pine Barrens, but you call it Wareham.
Where am I? Still in Wareham.
I grew up in this town. I live on land that's been in my family for 240 years. Yet this land is not mine alone. It belongs to a much larger ecosystem that we all share. It is a responsibility as a citizen of this town and of the earth to respect and protect all the things that a healthy ecosystem provides for us. Clean water, clean air, diverse wildlife, comfort, stable ecosystem. This is our gift to the future. You call it Wareham, I call it home.
Yeah, you guessed it. Wareham.
The Wampanoag hold this land sacred. For thousands of years we have lived in harmony with all things. Then the colonists came and claimed it all. They say they own the sand. They say they own the trees. They say they own the water. Do they own the sky? And to prove their claim, they cut and burn, leaving the land unfit for life. You call it Wareham, we call it Natakin.
The fish, the flowers, the trees. There are 1,000 reasons to preserve Wareham, and only one reason not to: greed. On April 10th at town meeting, vote no to rezoning.
Hello? Yeah, I can come in. No, I was awake. Mm-hmm. Cool.
welcome to Wareham Viking News at 5. I'm your host, Emma Arcaro, and we would like to thank you for sticking with us tonight until the end of our show. It's time for us to go. To keep up on all current Wareham news throughout the week, visit www.warehamvikingnews.com and like us on Facebook at Wareham Viking News. Make sure to continue to tune in Wednesday evenings for our live broadcast at 5 p.m., on Thursdays for our rebroadcast at 9 a.m., or on YouTube later tonight right here on WCTV for your best source of news, sports, weather, traffic, and more. Thank you very much for being with us, and until next time, Wareham, goodbye, use a mask, and stay safe.